Hey everybody, this is Miss Smith and this is Eureka Math, Grade 5, Module 2, Lesson 1, Parent Tutorial. What to expect from this tutorial. First, I'm going to review the lesson vocabulary. Then we're going to participate in an interactive warm-up game similar to what your student would participate in class. I will do a demonstration of how to solve homework problems for this lesson and an optional quiz at the end to provide me feedback on the success of this tutorial. First, let's review the objective. And the goal for your student at the end of this lesson and this unit is learning to multiply multi-digit whole numbers and multiples of 10 using place value patterns and the distributive and associative properties. Now let's review lesson vocabulary. These are the words I want your student to know and understand in order to be successful with this unit and lesson. First, product, one or more multiplications. For example, 12 is the product of 3 and 4. Commutative property. The word commutative comes from commute or move around. So commutative property means the ability to move stuff around. An example would be 2 times 3 equals 3 times 2. It would give you the same answer. You can use the commutative property with addition and multiplication only. Associative property. The word associative comes from associate or group. The associative property is the rule that refers to grouping. For example, 5 times 7 times 2 equals 5 times 2 times 7. The power to regroup. Also, the associative property can only be used with addition and multiplication, but it will give your student the ability to regroup numbers and make it easier for them to solve the equation. Distributive property. The distributive property is easy to remember if you remember multiplication distributes over addition. Example, 43 times 6 equals 40 times 6 plus 3 times 6. I'm going to run through this interactive warm-up game, and this is very similar to what your student would participate in class. I do want to take this time to reiterate, it's very important at this level that your student does have their multiplication facts down. So let's go over this. Multiplying by 4. Answer each question correctly to build a spooky graveyard. I'm going to click Start. 4 times 8 is 32, so I'm going to click on 32. Correct, you got a piece of the graveyard. Click on the moon to keep building. 4 times 3 is 12. Correct, you got a piece of the graveyard. Click on the moon to keep building. Just so you see what would happen if your student got the wrong answer, I will answer this incorrectly. 4 times 4 is 12. Oops, try again. Click on the haunted house to try again. All right, so I will do that. I will click on the haunted house. Brings me back to the original question. 4 times 4 is 16. Correct, you got a piece of the graveyard. Click on the moon to keep building. 4 times 12, 48. Amazing work. Have a happy Halloween. Now I'm going to do a demonstration of how to solve the math problems. The first thing I want your child to get in the habit of doing is slowing down, reading the instructions all the way through and highlighting important parts. So let's try that. Fill in the blanks using your knowledge of place value units and basic facts. So they're going to be testing my knowledge of place value units and basic facts. It's going to be multiplication and addition. A, 43 times 30. Think 43 ones times 3 tens equals tens. So in example A, they give us the place value unit we are working with, and it is tens. So I just need to solve for the product, and I'm going to do that like this. I'm going to say 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9. So I have 129 tens. And another way you can write tens, and what this means is times 10. And I'm going to remember tens have 1 0 behind it. Then I'm going to go to the next line, and it says 43 times 30. Well, I just solved that, so I got 129. Now I know I'm working with tens, but they want me to write that with zeros. So I know tens have 1 0, and I'm going to plug in my 0. So my answer is 1,290. Let's go to B. 430 times 30. Think 43 tens times 3 tens equals hundreds. So once again, they gave us the place value unit we are working with, and that is hundreds. And another way of writing that would be times 100. And I'm going to make a mental note that hundreds have 2 zeros. But it also wants us to give them the product. And I already solved this, and I know my product is 129 hundredths. So here, where it says 430 times 30, I know it is 129, and I know I'm working with hundreds, which have 2 zeros, so I'm going to put my 2 zeros in. And that gives me 12,900. Let's go to C, and then we're going to move on. 830 times 20. Think 83 tens times 2 tens equals 166. Now, in this example, they gave us the product. They want us to tell them what place value unit we are working with. So it's going to be a little different. Also, they want the word, not the number. So they said 83 times 2 is 166. And then they want to know the place value unit. So for that, I'd say tens times tens. So how I would solve this is, and this is when I would ask my child, I would say, well, how can you solve this problem? So 1, they can have their multiplication facts memorized. They know tens times 10 gives them 100. If they do not, they can solve it the long way. 10 times 10, which would give them 100. Or they can start remembering hundreds have 2 zeros. So here, I know we're working in hundreds. I am going to write the place value units we are working with as hundreds. So I have 166 hundredths. The next line down, 830 times 20 gives me 166. I'm working with hundreds. Hundreds means 2 zeros. I'm going to plug in 2 zeros. That's going to give me 16,600. All right, now we're going to solve problem 2, A, B, and C. Determine if these equations are true or false. Defend your answers using your knowledge of place value and the commutative, associative, and/or distributive properties. So let's begin with A. 35 hundredths is equal to 5 tens and times 7 tens. So this is how I would go about solving this. I would say 35 hundredths equals 35 times 100. Is that equal to 5 tens? 5 tens is 50 times 7 tens, which is 70. So 35 times 100 I know is 3,500. Is this equal to 50 times 70? And what I would do is I would say 5 times 7 is 35. These represent tens. 10 times 10 is 100. I put in 2 zeros. 3,500 is equal to 3,500, so this is true. Now let's go to B. 770 times 6 is equal to 77 times 6 times 100. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cross out what I already see on the equation as equal. So 6 and 6 are equal. I can get rid of them. I don't need to think about it. Here, I'm going to write 770 is that equal to 77 times 100? And I know this is going to equal 77 times 100 is equal to 77 hundredths. So 770 is not equal to 7700. If I wanted to make it equal, I would have to multiply this by 10. So here, the distributive property does not work. It is false. All right, and C. 50 tenths times 4 hundredths is equal to 40 tenths times 5 hundredths. So let's solve that. I'm going to solve it by rewriting it. 50 tenths is equal to 500 times 4 hundredths, that looks like this. Is that equal to 40 tenths? 40 tenths is 400 times 500. And I can tell that these are equal. It is true using the commutative property because you can rewrite the equation using the exact same numbers and you will get the same result. So this is true. Now we'll go on to problem 3. All right, now I'm going to solve problem 3B. Find the product, show your thinking. The first row gives you some ideas for showing your thinking. So let's start with B, 80 times 5. The first thing I'm going to do is make this easier for me to solve. So I'm going to say 40 times 10. And I got that from 5 times 8 is 40. I have my 10s left over, and that's going to equal 400. Now I'm going to solve 80 times 50. I'm going to use the commutative property to make this easier for me to solve. So I'm going to break it down into smaller numbers. And I'm going to say 80 equals 8 times 10 times 50 equals 5 times 10. Then I'm going to say to myself, is there anything that looks familiar? Can I break it down even more? And I can. I'm going to say 8 times 5 times 10 times 10. And I'm going to solve. 8 times 5 I know is 40 times 10 times 10. I know that's 100. And I know that 40 times 100 is 4,000, or when working with hundreds, I would add on my 2 zeros, so that would give me 4,000. All right, now I'm going to erase this to give myself more room. And I'm going to say 800 times 500. I'm going to use the same strategy. I'm going to say, now I know I'm working with hundreds though, so I'm going to say 8 times 100 is the same as, not the same as, but I would break it down the similar way. And then 500 is the same as 5 times 100. Then I'm going to say, can I make it even easier on myself? And I'm going to say, yes, I can. I'm going to say 8 times 5 times 100 times 100. And I know this is 40, and I know 100 times 100 is 10,000. If I didn't know that, I could remember the strategy of adding the zeros. So that would be 4 zeros. So 40 plus 4 zeros gives me 400,000. All right, and then last, I'm going to erase this again. 80,000 times 50. So I'm going to use the same strategy. I'm going to say 8 times 1,000. Then I'm going to say 50 is the same as 5 times 10. I'm going to break it down again to make it easier to solve. 8 times 5, 1,000 times 10, 40. 1,000 times 10 is 10,000. Or, to make it easier on myself, is 40, and I'm going to plug in those zeros. And there's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 400,000. And that is how you solve the math problems for tonight. And last, there's going to be an optional quiz, so I know how effective or ineffective this tutorial was.